Hey guys, I'm Mike and welcome back to Bodine Farms and Meat Market. On today's episode, I'd like to show you a little bit of our daily chores. Stick with us here. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, like our page. You can find us on Facebook. And let's get started for the day. So first off, we've got our projects are still going on. So we've kind of have pigs everywhere right now. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and check on two boars that we have in a trailer for right now, just separating them while we get things built. And so we're going to show you guys that. We've got some feeders up here too that we have in this area, and we've got another mother that should be expecting. So maybe we'll get lucky and see some new babies this morning. Who knows? Babies are always fun. So let's get a look here. So here are some feeders that we have on the ground right now that we've moved up here. This lot here is where we kept most of the feeders either way in this pasture, and right now we have planted another mixture of grasses in here. And so we're giving this here a little time to relax a little bit and get some of the grasses to grow up in here. But these guys are off on their way pretty good. Got our Richie Hog waters over here. So, all right, the way, let's go check on these two boars. Like I say, we've got them right now. We have them in this old trailer, and it's pretty well ventilated with this. And the way that we parked it, the wind usually comes through here and gives these guys a pretty good bit of air. And we're just going to get them some water here first. See if these guys will participate here. Just going to kind of cool them down for the day. And this here is Bullet. This is a pig that we bred here on the farm. He is half Hampshire and half Red Wattle, actually. And this is Ricky, our cross. Ricky, you gonna say hi? Huh? Want to say hi? So let's just give these guys some water over here. Came out a little earlier and gave them some water prior to. We're just going to fill this up here. And like I say, this is just temporary for right now, which this is a 16-foot trailer, so it kind of makes a nice little area in an emergency situation or construction, however you want to put that. That's our emergency, is getting things built the way we want to do it. So, all right, boys, that's enough for right now. All right, so I'm going to go in here with these feeder pigs and I'm just going to check this Richie water. That's one thing that I like to do, is check it every day, and every few days we actually go ahead and clean it out. So I'm going to go ahead and walk in here, get this thing cleaned out a little bit, make sure water's good, and we'll go from there. So here's these guys. So I'm really glad that I came down here and checked this morning, actually, because there is they've gotten some feed clogged up into the water. So we're going to actually go get some tools here, come back, and we're going to take the lid off of that water and clean out the inside. Alright guys, now that I'm pretty much completely soaking wet, it just so happened that Ritchie water there was clogged up on the inside, and it had been happening over a course of time. So it's nothing like it just happened overnight. It just got clogged up this morning, but that's the importance of actually checking water. And it's pretty hot right now outside here in Delaware, and we're going to go ahead and check the rest of them. But that's only like the second time that water has ever been clogged up, and it just happened to be that we were shooting some video here while it actually happened. So, and probably 2 years now, I'd say, that's maybe the second time that it's ever actually gotten clogged up. All right, so we were hoping to have an exciting morning here and show everybody a brand new litter of piglets. We had a pig go into labor last night, a pig that has already had a litter. This would have been her second litter. A sweet girl, and had beautiful piglets before, no problems, no issues. Piglets, most of them were blue. Man, they were pretty, and we were excited to kind of see what was going on. And you know, the good and the bad and the ugly of farming has hit us this morning, and overnight something must have went wrong, and unfortunately we actually lost our sow here. So it's just, you know, it sucks. It's something that we have to deal with. Very unfortunate. Definitely not what I was hoping to come back here and film and show everybody. But I figured I at least you know, go ahead and add this in, because you know, it is an active farm, and these are things that do happen. and it's very unfortunate. And like I say, this is a shocker to me, and it sucks. She was a very good pig. This would have been her second litter, and so just something that that's hit us here this morning, and you know, it just sucks. So we're gonna have to deal with her here and get her up and things like that. So we'll have to add that to the day here. So, but let me at least let me show you, so that not everything is doom and gloom here, that we do have a mother in here who's doing very good, and her little piglets. This is our Hampshire again, so we're just coming in here again, checking everything. Piglets had water. Everybody's doing good. It's cool in here. There's nice airflow. We went ahead and cut our boar, which is the spotted pig there. We cut him last night to make him a baro, and I have checked him. He's doing good. We cleaned his wound up there with some iodine, and went ahead and got him going. So it just, unfortunately, again here, this is my sweet girl who, you know, I'm just showing you, you know, this is real life. This is what happens on the farm, and not everything's in our control. But with other things come some good things here. So another mother over here who had given birth pretty quickly. This girl here, she showed like the day before and started panting and everything else. So we knew she was kind of going into heat, and she was kind of with not just panting, but she was kind of pacing the floor back and forth. So we knew something was going on. And then, you know, here she is. She had a litter of 10, and these guys they're doing good. They are asleep right now, but we got feeding water to her. This building in here is very cool, and we've got her in her temporary pen because of actually everything going on so fast. So this is it's a pretty cool setup in here for her. But anyway, that's the pig so far. And again, we're just coming out here to some of the other breeders in this lot. And I just kind of come out. I'm going to make sure I'll come out here for right now to make sure that water is good for the day. It is hot, and so it's just a matter of this wallow hole they've got here, making sure these girls are okay. And we've had a little bit of rain. It has been kind of dry here, but we did get some rain, and they're taking full advantage of it. So nice mud pit for them back here among the trees here, so they like this area. And I just like to come out, I check on them. Oh, she's gonna spray me. So come out here and check on them, see if we can sneak in here. That's Lucy on the left. She was a show pig. These guys are out here just sleeping. But I like to put my eyes on them just to make sure everything is going good. Here's Burke, our Berkshire boar. Looks like he's getting a little sunlight on the front half. His mama's sleeping in there. And they're full. They are filled up this morning. Who we have here? So that's these guys here. Everybody's looking good this morning. We've got one hiccup here on the farm that we have to deal with, unfortunately, and You know, it's all part of the project here. We've got stuff going on. And this area here, where we've built this water out here, we put the other water over there. We are getting ready to start. We've got some rain chances coming in for the week, but we're actually going to head down today to pick up some materials that finally come in. And this area here, where I have those 2 bores, I just have them up in that trailer for right now. We're gonna be building in an area back here with roof over top of it and everything, so that we can go ahead and cycle out the bores. And the reason being, just because we can take one bore out here, we'll be able to lock him up. We'll be able to use another bore for cleanup, for some of the gilts and sows that aren't pregnant yet. Maybe he's missing. And so we're gonna end up running 4 bores around here for a while, until we get out of it what we want to see, and making sure that everything is bred. And then this area here, like I say, this area is going to be a nice area for the bores. That's going to be shaded in the afternoon here. And we'll pour a floor in here for them, have a roof, and then have it set up for a water that's going to be on the inside and the outside. And they'll be able to drink on both sides all the time. So it's kind of the reason we use nipples and stuff. Right now I have this temporary setup here because we had dug all those water lines and stuff in. So we actually ripped into the water line that was in here, and we're going to take this away, and then we're going to have the water that's over here when we put this other water in. But this is kind of the problem with having just nipples that, you know, 1/2 inch nipples and stuff. The pigs, even though they need to wallow out here, and it's nice to have water, it's a pain, because wherever the nipples are, they just let the water run, and that's what you create, a 3.5 foot hole here. So you know, we'll let them go. But it is one thing that I like, having those Ritchie waters with a concrete pad around it. They will knock some of the water out, but for the most part, it keeps a very clean area and a solid area all the time for water, because we can always create a wallow, you know, ourselves. We've got tanks around here. It's not like we can't bring out water and make that area, you know, accessible, as opposed to having an area with these nipples where they just want to run it so that they can lay a water and end up with a hole, and next thing you know, they've knocked it out of the ground. And we've used all kinds of stuff. That was a T-post temporary right there, but I've had wood posts in the ground. We've done that. They've dug those up, and so we've kind of done it all in before. So it's you know, nothing we haven't dealt with. So we are just going to go around here to the other side and check on our other sows and our boar in here. Kind of walking through our little construction area here, which is turning out pretty cool. So these guys are out here about. This barn here, it's nice and shaded in here all the time, and it's like dry, sandy, dusty, which we've tried to put shavings in here, and I don't know what to do with them, but they like being able to get in here and give themselves a dust bath pretty much. So I've just kind of stopped fighting them. But it is nice and cool in here. And again, there's one of them Ritchie waters that we have in here. And I've already went ahead and actually checked that here back when we realized that we had a pig down and had to stop recording. But their lot out here is pretty bare, and we're hoping to, once we get everything done construction wise over here, and we get this addition done over here, and we've got stalls built, and that's all done, and then we're going to hope to go ahead and expand these pastures, and then possibly rotate one on one and give one area a little bit of room to go ahead and grow some grasses up and just kind of settle for a while. So eventually, when we first started the actual second pasture over there, that was kind of a rest pasture. So we could take, when we started off with just about 10, we would just rotate them, and it was able to keep this pasture, both of them had a chance to grow and relax a little bit. But now that we're running, we brought in a bunch more gilts and stuff like that. Now we need to expand, so that's kind of the future project of it all. So we're just going to take a ride up here. We're going to check on our calves and our feeders up here, just to make sure all of our water is good. So just checking up. We've got a little automatic water in here which works around this pasture pretty good. Again, this is the one that we really need to get down. I think I'm going to end up cutting this, shorten it up a little bit, and then letting them graze over top of that before we move them. But girls are doing pretty good this morning. The steer, a couple steers that are out here with them too. Keep saying girls. I'm so used to. We ended up having a we had our breeding cows that we had here from the start. We ended up trading, just doing some things different, and deciding that we couldn't run both groups. The market and the demand for the market was getting to be it was getting to be too much to keep both of them. So in order to be able to utilize our pastures the right way without overgrazing and being able to move the products that we're producing, you know, obviously out on pasture, from the winter lots that we have, we wanted to make sure that we could keep the rotation. So we made a big decision to go ahead and get rid of our breeders, and that was kind of hard to see go. I think once it was actually going, they all got picked up. Shout out to Frank's Produce, and you know, they ended up coming and they bought the rest of the girls, and we had some in our bull that was with them too, and then we sold 4 here locally that, you know, I guess if we wanted to go see them we can. 2 of the Herefords that we sold off, I see them on a regular, but and we'll probably get you some video of that too when they go to have their babies. We sold all of them off as being bred except for 2. So that was kind of a big move, and so what we're doing now is, you know, we ended up, because we had that group, we ended up having a lot of feeders, a lot of calves come off of them, and we kept all the calves from them. So a lot of the calves here are ours right now, but the intentions to move from that to just purchasing calves and raising them out has been the decision we've made for now, so that we can better suit what we have going on. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and take another ride around and just kind of check. We're going to start our walks in the chicken houses too, and just make sure everything's going good. Let's go in here and do our walkthrough. All right, so we're just kind of coming in. I have a guy here that works for us full time. He's coming in. The daily chores here in the chicken houses are basically walking through, picking up dead chickens that haven't made it, and so and calling some of those that need to be called that are not going to make it. If you're new to all this, you know, calling animals is something that's done industry wide, whether you're raising stuff out on pasture, or you're raising in a commercial setting like this. And basically calling is just the process of, unfortunately, basically taking an animal out that cannot get to food or water, by itself, and so you don't want that animal to suffer. In some of the pasture settings, you might have an animal that, that has bad feed or something that just isn't good for production, and something that you might actually wean off of your fields and stuff. So it's commonly done. Again, we do it from necessity. It's basically, making sure that animal, if that animal cannot reach food or water, you know, that animal's suffering. And so we, you know, that's, as you know, being farmers, it's part of our job, and things that we do on a daily basis. And it's things that you know, consumers, you know, don't have to experience. We do that for you. So it is part of the job, and things we go through. So we're just going to start off here by you know, I come in here again back to this controller, and you know, I'm kind of coming in here right now, and I want to go through, and I want to check all of my history. So I just want to come in here, and I want to check my history here, and I can go through, and that's what's nice about having these computers the way that they are. I can come in here and I can check my temperatures, you know, for the day, and seeing what my max temperature is here, what the average temperature has been, and then what you know, what our minimum temperatures have been. So this is something that you kind of want to look at. These you know, they're baby chickens in here, and so, you know, they can withstand a little heat. You can see back to day 3, got up to 95.9. So that, you know, obviously fans were running, and that's something you actually have to, when they're little like this, you don't want too much air running on them. And actually we got up to about 4 tunnel fans running, which was kind of borderline, you know, making them sit just a little bit too much air. So that's just something, you know, you want to pay attention to. When they're young, they can kind of take the heat. Well, they can take the heat a lot better. You don't want nothing excessive. But so coming in here for water, and just looking at water consumption for the day, and that you can see that water totals are increasing daily on both sides, which is exactly what we're looking for. This house specifically ended up getting placed 10,000 chickens 3 days after we placed the majority of the house. We just didn't have enough chickens at the time to place, so things happen. Again, down here, just stepping into my chlorine dip before we walk into the house. So when I walk in here, I kind of want to be as quiet as I can be. Of course, I'm filming this right now, so obviously not as quiet as I want to be, but the reason being is that I want to just kind of walk into these birds doing their natural thing without me in here affecting them. And what I'm looking for is basically birds are up and activity is going. Birds are hitting these water lines, and so everything is looking good. The air quality is good. We're running 2 fans at the moment, 2 tunnel fans and one front fan there. So things are looking good. You guys can see that little partition. We're going to actually walk this. And so we've been kind of moderately raising our water lines here, because like I say, we did bring in some birds that are a little bit younger than the rest of them. So we want to make sure that they all can drink and that they all have good access to feed. So I'm just coming in, and you know, daily we're going to come in here. We walk every day, twice a day, most time 3 times a day in the summertime, really. And then anytime the chickens call us, that good old alarm system. But I'll come through here, and I just want to kind of check the batch that we just got here yesterday, so you can kind of see that these guys are a little younger, and they're doing good. They're off to a good start. I had to come in here and actually this chamber, when we placed birds yesterday, I came in and adjusted these lines a little bit lower, specifically in this chamber, so that they could reach the water line, so that we could have these lines here on just this side, from this partition this way, so that these guys, because they are a few days older here, and they puff up pretty quick. So we just had to make some minor adjustments. No big deal. A couple days into this, we'll be able to start adjusting things back the right way, and then we will be able to pick up these partitions and go ahead and run this group together. So I'm just going to come in, and I like to go through my lines, and I just like to make sure that I come through and I see that nice little drip. The nipple there was real free, and you know, I might come and do that in a couple places every day, a couple different lines, making sure that water is available. So, and again, feed is in good standing here. The air feels very good. Chickens are doing good. Air's coming in. We're doing real good. And I might come over here. Got good flow. So like I say, we'll end up walking these birds, especially in the summertime. It ends up being more than often. And we'll come in and like I say, the start of the day, walking through, you know, some birds that aren't going to make it through the process. And you know, we'll go through and we'll pick up our mortality for the day. We'll make our calls for the day. And again, that's, you know, that's an animal that can't reach food or water, you know, and we do that as humanely as possible. We follow all guidelines when it comes to calling animals, that's created by third parties, through people that, you know, people like you guys that care, and just like us. So we want to provide the best space that we can and the best opportunities that we can for these birds. And you know, that's the idea of it all. So we want to get up, we want to walk through here, we want to see these guys up and about, we want to see them drinking. I like to walk through here, just kind of checking on different things, you know, eyes all over the place, strings down, anything broke, light bulbs out, anything out of place, temperature sensors, you know, maybe they need to be adjusted. And look at the guys, look at them run from me here. They're all moving. And so really that's the, you know, this is the idea. So this is what walking through the houses every day and doing it a few times a day basically gets these birds up and moving like we're doing right now. So kind of coming through, and I'm you know, just kind of looking through, making sure the balls on our water lines are floating. You know, regulators are pushing water through the lines. And again, I might come down here, check water, it's free. Nipples are free, they're not leaking. Everything in the house is dry right now, good thing. We're getting these birds up, pushing them into the line so they get something to drink. Really, it's on hot days like this, even though they can tolerate heat, what they can't tolerate is dehydration, which most of us can't. So when they're little like this and we get to kind of be their parents, you know, we want to come in here, get these guys up, maybe give them that extra push to get something to drink, to stop dehydrating from. And you know, that extra little push is something that's basically, you know, we get to do as little parents here. We're chicken tenders, right? Is that what it is? I hear people say that stuff all the time. If you're a chicken farmer, typically you're a chicken tender.